Hey guys, it's your girl Bianca B, and so today is a different kind of video other than, tutorials and favorites and vlogs. I really want to express what I learned in 2016 and how I went from unemployment, quitting my 9 to 5, going to Vh1, going to E. So I want to share to you guys how to be positive and how to stay motivated when it comes to your career, and just going in more depth because I said I would do it in this video on my last vlog. So if you guys want to find out more and how you can stay motivated for this upcoming year, please continue watching. Okay, so let me give you a time cap of my year of 2016. So the beginning of the year, I put out my first book, The 20s Chronicles. I was super excited to release it. I was just so proud of, releasing a book at 22. I never thought that I would be an author. Now I'm working on my second book, so that was a great time. And all the people that came out, all my good friends for my book launch, it was absolutely amazing. You guys can watch the video below of my book launch. After my book launch, I ended up quitting my 9 to 5. I had got an offer to work on a Vh1 pilot. It was a talk show, to come on as a story production assistant with an amazing team. The job was absolutely the best job ever. The team was absolutely amazing. Everybody who had worked on that show, most people were from The Soup, which was a comedic show on E, a comedic talk show. So it felt so good to be in an environment with creative people who, knew so much about TV. This was my first time actually working on a TV show. How I got the gig was through my boss from TMZ and the line producer from TMZ, Tiffany. Love her. And yeah, they brought me along. So I quit my 9 to 5 job. I was working at Extensions Plus, which is a hair company. And I was doing social media marketing for them. And I knew I was going to quit after just one incident. I am putting it in my second book, Plot, Plan, and Slay. So you guys can get the details on how I quit my 9 to 5 and what made me do it. And yeah, I went to Vh1. I worked there from February until April. And with pilots in the film industry, pilots is not permanent. It's not something, it may or may not get picked up. It's kind of just like going with faith and taking that jump, as Steve Harvey would say. And I took that leap of faith and I quit my 9 to 5. And I worked there from February until April, and then the show didn't get picked up. It didn't even air on Vh1. We did a dress rehearsal, and Vh1 was just like, no. So we were out of work. And so that was my first time actually getting the film kind of let down of not having consistent work, in the film industry. Depending on where you work and what area of work you are working, there's plenty of times where you're going to be out of work. It's just like being an actor or an actress. You may do a play for a couple of months and then you're done, you're out of work, back to auditions. I think Keke Palmer even said in her Snapchat when she was working on that play she was doing, I forgot what was the name of that play. It wasn't Hairspray. It was another play she was working on, and she mentioned, like, once I'm done with work, it's back to being unemployed and back to auditions. So that's kind of like just what the film industry is and entertainment in general. So if you really want to be in entertainment, learn how to save your money. And I learned how to, save my money with working at Vh1. I had saved every paycheck, and so I was good for a couple of months when the job ended. And so then I filed for unemployment, and I was on unemployment for a couple of months, more months than I expected. And it was a rough period for me during the summer. Thank God my best friend Chris had came into town, and thank God my grandma had came into town, because I needed to genuinely be around family and friends. And it was like a low point for me because I was so used to being busy. I was so used to doing red carpets, and those slowed down, and just everything mentally was just fucked up, So I was so thankful that they came and visited me. But I really learned about myself during that period of not being so busy. I had really learned how to be still and be in a position where you just have to trust God and you just have to pray. And I was managed to pay every rent. I managed my money as much as I can. I was on eggs and fucking potatoes every fucking day. Veggies every fucking day. Cooking every fucking day. That's why I don't cook right now, because I was cooking every single day. And during that time I had was working out, and I had lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight since this whole summer. Thank God for the gym and that break, because I slimmed down. And it wasn't because I wasn't eating. It was just because, you know, I really wanted to take care of myself, and I had so much time on my hands that I had just started working out every day. It was like my daily routine. I need to go back because it's slacking. But back to my story. So during the summer, I really wanted to focus on my YouTube channel and my subscribers. Every month I had a goal. Every week I had a goal on how many subscribers I wanted, and I accomplished it every month. And so I'm so thankful for you guys for, you know, following me, my journey. And, you know, my views aren't as large, but my subscribers are gaining, and my comments are, like, the content is getting better for my channel. So I was super happy and proud of that. So going into the summertime, you know, I was just desperate for a job. I was super desperate. And so my second father, I call him my stepdad, he sent to me a link about a temp agency. And so I applied to the temp agency on a Wednesday. I talked to them on a Wednesday. This was in August. I talked to them, no, yeah, it was the end of August. I talked to them Wednesday. They wanted me to come in on Friday. Once Friday came, I wore my lucky blue dress, which is one of my favorite dresses. And the lady, her name was Shawnee. She was absolutely amazing, a Middle Eastern woman. And I talked about this in one of my blogs, but she was looking at my resume and she was just like, are you sure you want to do marketing, or do you have another resume that's, you know, more marketing? And I was like, yeah, I have two resumes. I have a film resume, and I have like kind of like a dumbed down kind of resume, because I've worked so many different places and had so many internships that, you know, my resume is kind of bomb. So she was just like, Bianca, you are a very beautiful girl, and my husband was in the industry and he never got to follow his dreams because he got older and he, you know, just didn't follow his dreams. And she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm here if you need me, but I want you to contact your old bosses. And I'm here if you really need a job, but I want you to keep looking for something that's more in your field, because you're talented, you seem like a very ambitious young girl, and I don't want you to regret not going after your dreams. I just like poured down and started crying because I had been through so much. And this lady, she was just amazing. And every time I think about it, I tear up. But it was like a low point in my life, and I was just like, ooh, okay, let me get myself together, because God will put, oh yeah, she said this, I don't know if God is telling me to tell you this, but I think that you should contact your old bosses and follow your dreams. And it's crazy how God will put people in your life to give you that confirmation. Yeah, so after that conversation, on Monday I got a phone call from my old boss from VH1. He was like, hey, I pitched a show to E. Do you want to come on as the AP? And I was just like, ding. That was literally 2 days later. And so they finalized everything with the HR, all my paperwork, and then the following week after the holiday in September, I started there, and it was an amazing experience. And that was just like a 2-week gig. We shot 1 episode, and that feeling was just absolutely amazing. And then after that gig was up, I started applying for more jobs again. And I felt more motivated to apply for more film jobs. So then I got a phone call from E! News to come in for an interview. And I had applied for that actually before I had got the gig at E! as an AP. And so then I went to E! News, and I was there for a month. Just to fill in. It was a temp freelance position. So yeah, I learned so much, and right now I'm just in the stages of finding another job. But I was just super happy, and God has mysterious ways on how he does stuff, And don't ever get discouraged. You know, you may not understand it in that moment, but amazing things will happen for you when you take that leap of faith and you jump. As Steve Harvey would say, you know, it may not make sense, but in the future it will. For the new year of 2017, I just really plan on staying focused, launching my second book for the new year, and launching a new thing that I'm working on right now. And I'm super excited because I've been wanting to launch this forever now. It is definitely beauty related, so I'm super excited about that. I don't know what's next for me, but I know that 2017 is going to be an amazing year. Also, what I learned this year is your self-worth. You cannot force people to be with you. You cannot force a relationship at all. You know, I'm very private about, you know, my intimate life and who I'm involved with, just because I feel like that's a part of me, and I feel like it shouldn't be showcased to the world on who you're dating or who you're talking to until you know that that person is right for you and you know that it's legit. And I invested 8 months of my time this past year with someone who I really wanted to be with and really wanted a relationship with, but I didn't know my standards. I didn't set my standards from the get-go. And that's one thing I learned, and that's the next thing I'm taking into my future relationships or whoever I involve myself with. I really got the chance to really love myself and really know my self-worth within this time. And so the biggest advice I can give for 2017 is just to stay motivated, have faith, know your self-worth, and really spend time alone. Learn how to be still sometimes. You don't have to always be active on social media. You don't always have to show that you're doing stuff. You could definitely just take time out for you. And this video is ending my battery. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at itsbiancab. And what else? Don't forget to plot, plan, and slay.